Hi, Matt again from Art Install. What we've got now is a mirror that we are going to hang on the wall. This one's going up on a bathroom wall. This is a timber framed mirror. Still quite surprisingly heavy. The mirror itself is probably like a 6mm silver. So there is a fair bit of weight, and the thing is with mirrors, they are heavy. You really need them professionally hung. This particular one comes with what we call a keyhole fixing, and that is just a case of putting 2 screws in the wall, clipping it over the keyhole, and it sinks down. But the trouble with that is we've got another dry wall. In a wet area like this, it's actually Villeboard. We won't be able to get a good fixing on those screws away from the studs. So what I'm going to do is set up a split batten, what we call a split batten, which we can pick up a stud in here, screw it to the stud and a couple of wall mates either side. That spreads the weight, clips onto the split batten, and it won't go anywhere. It's not going to go crashing down on somebody's feet or, you know, shatter all over the floor. So yeah, I'm just going to cut some split batten up, find the studs, and we'll go from there. Okay, so what we've cut here is what we call a split batten. As discussed, we were going to hang this on a split batten purely because of the weight of the mirror. Split batten is just an aluminium extrusion, or you can get timber ones. In this case it's an aluminium one, and it's kind of like a male-female type of arrangement. So when it spins around on itself, it hangs on itself, which, if you can imagine, this one's on the wall, that's on the back of the mirror, which we've just screwed on. We've cut that the same length as this one, and when it goes on, it's just going to slip in like so and hang on the split batten, and that's what a split batten is all about. Now, the reason we use a split batten is because we can do a long run of it and pick up studs. In this case, the mirror is not as wide as 2 studs, but in any case, with our magic stud finder, we've run along the wall here. We've worked out where we want the mirror. We're going to have it about 40mm off this tile, and the top of the mirror is going to be level with this freeze tile or feature tile. So we run our stud finder along the wall. What we've done is we've picked up a stud right there. So we know that's the first stud. So normally studs are 450mm. They can be 600mm depending on the height of the wall, the type of the wall. As I said before, this is a wet area. It's in a bathroom, so the wall cladding is what they call a Villeboard, like a cement sheeting. So what we've done is we picked up 1 stud, which helps. Like that will take a lot of weight just on that 1 stud. Preferably, if the mirror was longer, or if we were going to hang this mirror in a landscape type view, obviously the aluminium would be longer. We'd pick up another stud and maybe another one. In this case, we haven't been able to do so. If it was straight plasterboard, we would use a wall mate and screw into the wall mate. But I know from experience, if I get one into the stud, I've drilled a 3mm hole where the rest of my holes are, and I can use a normal panhead screw like we've used before. Fairly coarse thread, bites really well onto the Villeboard, and 4 screws over that length. It's kind of like a gang plate effect, and with a shear weight, we're talking shear weight, just straight up and down weight, that is more than enough to hold the weight of this mirror. So what I'm going to do now is, as I said, I've marked out top of the freeze tile where we want it laterally, and we've worked out where the split batten goes in relation to the split batten on the mirror. I'm just going to screw this to the wall now, 1 into the stud, the rest into the Villeboard, and then we should be ready to hang the mirror. Now we can feel that one into the timber stud that is rock solid. Bring our batten down to our level line, and you can see my 3mm holes into the Villeboard. And just a tip with screwing these off, with cordless screwdrivers can be sometimes a little bit too powerful, so the trick is to do it very slowly. So it really pulls up on that split batten, not to over drive it in, because it'll just spin out the thread, spin out the board, and you won't have any fixing. Okay, so now the split batten is screwed to the wall. We've got it on the back of the mirror, ready to go. Basically the mirror's ready to hang. Just one other little thing, I've put a couple little foam pads on the bottom corners of the mirror so that when it sits against the wall it's not going to damage the wall. And that also spaces the mirror off around about the same distance as what the split batten does, so that the mirror sits nice and parallel with the wall, and yeah, just sits on the wall a lot nicer. So the trick is with the split batten is to just hold the mirror roughly the height where you want it. You're just going to slide it down until it clips into itself, and don't sort of let go of the weight until you sort of know that it is clipped in, sitting in there really well. We can slide it either way, left or right, to where we want it. And because we've screwed the split batten and everything level on the wall, we know that that mirror is going to be level. And there you have it, nice and level. Once again, we just give that a bit of a clean the frame, clean the mirror, marks off the wall, and there you have a mirror hung on a split batten.